Sagittarius, this is your week ahead tarot card reading by Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It's a message for Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. And this is an energy reading, so please take it where and how it resonates in your life. This is your message. And to understand that if you're not a Sagittarius and this came to you, it's because you drew the energy into you. So there's something here that you need to know. And Sagittarius, this always comes to you at just the right time. And this is where your message begins. I think your wait is over. There's a big surprise or a shock that's coming your way. There's something that you have been trying to deal with for a while, and it has not been good. There's been no movement on it. And then there's the energy of just really fed up with it, really done, really sick of it. Maybe things getting worse before they get better. The Tower is here. I think that this was the Tower. This was the energy of something that no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't make any movement on it. This was an energy of, why is this even happening to me? This was an energy of, all of a sudden, something that's out of my hands and I'm dealing with, and it's chaos. Look at this Tower. Like, there's burning down, there's fires, there's a sense of, okay, what do I do now? It's almost like it's something that leveled you and made you feel helpless. Now, I don't understand why this is coming out. This is front and center, but this is certainly what you're dealing with, and ultimately everything that you're trying, or this feeling of there's nothing that you can do. Only thing that you can do is let something end and let it go. So let's get some clarifiers here with regards to why this is happening, and then let's see what the Tower actually was. We have King of Cups here, which is knowing yourself and emotional security. This could also be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, masculine. Then we have the King of Swords, which is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So this is both your heart and your mind are sure about something, and then fire energy, that's the Queen of Swords. So we have fire, earth, and air. We have the royalty. We have getting yourself together, knowing yourself, and having your passions firm. And then the Star card is aspiring higher. It's almost like God designed this energy to get you to live up to your full capacity, or something that you weren't even tapping into with regards to yourself. It's inspiring you, like you're going to have to tap into that now. So that's kind of why it's happening. Like, what was it? I want to know what was the Tower? What was this Tower? What happened? Something was confusing. There was a lot of options, but nothing really stuck, or nothing was really good that you wanted. Maybe alcoholism, or being distracted, somebody putting too much party in front of everything, people wanting to fight too much. This is Aries energy, deciding to move forward with something or take action with something, even though you didn't completely know what it was, or being uncertain of where your next step was because there's no really good options in front of you. So this is that Tower energy that you're dealing with right now, along with the fact that you could be distracted by a lot of small shit right now. The energy of a lot of craziness getting in the way of what you really want to do, right? And honestly, that's not a sign. It's just life. It's like, this is the kind of crap that life throws in front of you. And sometimes, like, we just waste energy, like brain power, on trying to understand why this is happening to us, when in reality, it's just confront it, get through it, be done with it. Because the more you focus on the why, it's like the more it continues to happen. And so we don't care about the why. We care about, how do I get through it? How do I get rid of it? And I think the way forward was actually also hard, because it may have thrown in the way, it may have thrown a wrench into how you feel about yourself, or how you feel about, your next steps, or your capabilities, or who you are, really. Like, it just could have made you doubt who you are. So let's understand what the way forward then is for Sagittarius. This is really interesting energy. It's coming out very quick. we have on guard, guarded, or defensiveness. So the way forward right now is to level up your protectiveness and your defensiveness, and also to raise your standards. This is the Nine of Wands is defensive energy. It's also an energy that says, I don't have to let everything in. I've kind of learned my lesson, or I should know by now to not let everything in. You're dealing with Ten of Swords energy as well. So something was quite painful. The ending may have felt like it was really long and drawn out, and that there was a lot of betrayal involved. So ultimately, this is a sense of the reason it happened to you was to toughen you up and to make you realize that not everything is okay. And you need to, moving forward, raise your standards. If you lost something all of a sudden, and it's almost like that lesson happened to you, to be like, raise your standards. That's all I keep getting is raise your standards. Like the bar should have been set higher, or the bar has been set higher because of whatever it is that you've lost, and that was painful to lose. So there's just this energy of being really guarded right now, being really protective. Okay. We have a new start, new beginning, and new opportunity. So be very defensive and protective with regards to the new opportunities that come in your life. Be a chooser, not a beggar. And don't let anybody don't let whatever has happened to you, or whatever the hardships you're suffering right now, turn you into a beggar. Like, happy birthday, Danny. I've got to accept everything that I get, anything that I get. You don't. You have a right to decide. Like, in other words, start out on the level that you want to be on, almost. I think Denzel Washington was the one that gave an interview about this. In the beginning of his career, he was asked to get like a big ticket role that would have compromised his morals. And he realized that it also would have compromised his career. And so he decided to take the hit to his career and not take the first rocket ship that came along, to instead be able to dictate what rocket ship he did end up taking, and how he wanted to be seen. And so it's almost like that's what it's saying. How do you want to be seen? You don't have to, it's not about popularity or presentation. It's about who you are and standing in integrity and choosing what you want, or your way forward, or your new options with integrity, and not just taking whatever. And it's hard because it seems like there's been little to no action with regards to any kinds of opportunities. But it's almost like just plan on your way forward. This is the card that came out. Another Queen. This is very mature energy. This is the energy of somebody who thinks very clearly, logically. They're very objective, and they plot the road ahead. This is my logistics card. So you could be moving, you could be going somewhere, you could be clearly seeing the way forward, or taking some sort of advice from somebody that would give this kind of counsel. But ultimately, this is a sense of, yes, see what's out there for you, and plan your way forward with, know what you want to be and who you want to be on the road you're about to walk on. Like, know who that person is, and don't vary from that. But this is definitely a way forward. It's just you making the plans for the way forward. And that could be what that opportunity that's coming to you is. Like, requiring you to be the strategy, right? Requiring you to be and do the strategy, to create it. And then we have strength. And yes, you certainly do have the strength. And it's almost like this sense of God reminding you, this is where you're going to demonstrate your strength. You have the strength. You do have the know-how. And you have the strength because you're not afraid. So this has been, if you see things objectively, and you see things, if you see things from a practical and intellectual point of view, you will not be scared. You'll get that primal energy under control, and you'll see things logically. You won't take it personally. If you don't have enough money, for example, you're not going to take it personally. You're not going to sit there and wish, right? You're going to be like, okay, this is realistic, and this was what I can do, and this is what I can't do, and I'm just going to move to the next step that's available to me. It's not going to be, I wanted this one, so I'm not going to take any step at all. No, you're going to take the step. You're definitely going to keep moving forward. That's the That's the Queen of Swords. She sees the way forward. She sees it very clearly, but she sees it also very logically. So this is like being practical, taking that step forward, and almost like God reminding you, you've learned these lessons. You've had these distractions. You've kind of been through this crap before. It's almost like generating the energy for me of this is like older and wiser Sagittarius version. This is like whatever situation that you're dealing with, you're wise to it. You understand it. It's almost like in some ways you're the leader here because there's so many kings and queens right here in front of me. Then we have the Lover's energy. This is Gemini energy. This is proper communication, exceptional communication, making connection with other people. This is also a sense of you won't be alone on this road. God's not going to leave you alone on this path. You're going to have partnership. It's also something like, I'm going to wait for true love. I'm going to wait for what is destined for me. I don't want you to wait for anything, but God's not telling you to wait. That's why the Queen of Swords is there. That's why the Page of Pentacles is there. The universe isn't telling you to wait. The universe is telling you don't settle. So when you're like along the path, when you're on your way, don't settle for anything less than what you know is your absolute soul journey or soul purpose or soul connection. You know, you don't have to settle for anything like that. Hold on. Hold on. This is something in the past. There was a big disappointment, and I saw it was with regards to a serious connection in the past. It's almost like there was a loss. There was a heartache or a hardship. Something that disappointed you. So you had one expectation and then the other thing happened. But look, it's not like there was nothing left for you. It's just everything that you wanted didn't happen. And so ultimately it's connected to somehow that loss. So is this the way we should be going, God, or what should Sagittarius do? Choose to be alone. I don't like this energy. This is kind of deceptive energy. It's a chosen isolation, doing things in secret. The problem is maybe that's what you've decided to do. You've kind of decided to hermit yourself away. The Libra energy is here to say, I now, the Justice's card is saying, whatever this backward, clerical, kind of like almost toxic by the book kind of energy was, there's justice for this. I don't know what this is. This is like rules and regulations rules, regulations that are kind of like used against you, or that it's like that really low vibrational energy of you didn't do it by the rules, or you have this paperwork, but then it's never filed, or something like that. Like it's really like toxic, manipulative, lazy, I don't want to take responsibility kind of energy. Well, there's some sort of justice that's happening here. Some sort of clarity, realization, and decision with regards to that. This is partnership once again. I think there's partnership coming into your life that's going to bring you out of whatever kind of isolation you've been in. And isolation doesn't mean that you're not married or that you don't have a happy relationship. It could just be that maybe you've been doing a lot of work alone, or you've been doing very lonely kind of work, or something in your life where you shut down essentially, and God's basically trying to wake it up in you, wake it back up. And then we have you're ready to wake back up, and this is that moment when you do. Milk and honey is here, so there's actually really wonderful things coming to you. So we've come kind of full circle here, where it says you're going through all of this stuff, you're going through all of this craziness, you've gone through even the phase of maybe depression, right? And now it's like you're ready to come back to life. You're ready to step into this completeness. You're ready to, you're poised for success, which is really interesting, because it would probably feel to you, I'm looking for the next card, it would probably feel to you as if the universe hates you and why does it keep making all these bad things happen? But in reality, it was just preparing you and getting you stronger, and it's getting you ready for this abundance that's coming into your life. I know I just heard it. We're gonna figure out when. I'm gonna do when in the extended, like see the timeline of when there's sort of the break in the clouds for you. I'm gonna answer that when, but first here, let's get into the angel messages. We have lapis lazuli, life-changing epiphany or experience, right? It's a time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. Big and blessed change. And then we have stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So ultimately, you are poised for a major breakthrough and a sense of seeing it and not just believing it, but knowing it. That's kind of why the Queen of Swords is there. Of course, faith is always involved, but it's like you know it. And when you see things in front of you, you're not seeing the can'ts, you're seeing the cans. A life-changing epiphany. I gotta at least get that information for you. What is this life-changing epiphany? What is this? What happened or what's going to happen? There was a new offer of love, connection, relationship, or help from a friend. It would have been a generous offer. There would have been somebody treating you as an equal or coming into partnership with you with regards to a new opportunity. Could be a new business opportunity. Could be a new job opportunity. But that's how the epiphany or life change is going to take off or start. Or it's talking about this past event where there was a relationship where it really changed your entire life. There was a new connection that you said yes to, and ultimately it was only remaining strong in your faith that you were able to take the leap and pull yourself into this new version of yourself, which is why, happy birthday, Dageni, you've been set up on the road that you are. Stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. So let's see what that is, what happens, and the when. I'm going to go to the extended. I'll see you guys there.